Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Pawan, and in today's video we are going to extend our discussion on the UiPath document understanding. So if you have not watched our previous video on the UiPath document understanding data extraction using the generative AI extractor and classifier, I'm going to mention the link there in the description below and you can go ahead and watch it. So it is going to give you the good insights on how the data extraction can be done using the generative AI capability there in the UiPath document understanding. So today we are going to discuss more about the data extraction using the document understanding using the machine learning extractor. Now, why machine learning extractor? So consider a scenario where you got the document and that document is pretty complex, and first you want to do the training that what are the kind of data that you want to extract there from that document, in case if there is any specific rule or some business rule that needs to be applied there, and then after that only the data extraction needs to be done. So first you need to go ahead and do the data labeling or training of your document, and after that only the data extraction can be done, adhering all those rules that has been provided by your business users. Okay, so for that UiPath provides a very easy way of doing the data training and data extraction using the custom machine learning model which is available there in the UiPath AI Center. Okay, so in today's video we are going to basically discuss about the data extraction using the machine learning extractor, and we'll be using the AI Center and we'll be using the UiPath Studio for this. So without any delay, let's go ahead and start our demo.
Hello guys. So to start with our project, first we need to get an access of the UiPath AI Center. So to get an access to the UiPath AI Center, first you need to go to the admin section in case if you're using a community edition. In case if you're using the enterprise edition, then probably you need to go and check with your admin that your particular tenant or your orchestrator has an access to the AI Center. Okay, so in case if you're using the community edition, then you need to go to the admin section of the community section and you need to go to the licenses. So over here, there will be some, like in case if you have not started with your pro trial, then you will get one other option at this place where it will say that start pro trial. Okay, so you need to click on that button and then you need to fill the form. So it's going to be a very simple form where it is going to ask you your first name, your last name, your organization email ID, and maybe your designation, and then you need to click on start pro trial. So ideally the pro trial is there for 60 days and you can use the AI Center and all the professional services for the next 60 days in case if you're starting with the pro trial without any hidden cost or something. So it's free of cost basically for the first 2 months. Okay, so you need to start with your pro trial. So once you have completed this process, then the next is you need to come back to the admins and you need to go to your tenant and you need to go to services. So under the services, there will be an option again over here because I have actually selected all my services, so everything is showing up over here, but for you it will show that add services. Okay, maybe, yeah, so it's just going to show up over here. Somewhere over here you will see add services, and then you just need to click on that add services button, and then you need to select the AI Center. And once you select the AI Center, and you just need to click on save, you need to refresh your orchestrator, and then you will be able to see the AI Center option there in your orchestrator. So that's all. That's a pre-configuration that you need to do to get the AI Center option in your orchestrator in the community. Okay, now let's go to the AI Center and see that how we can really configure the AI Center for the machine learning extractor. Okay, so for that, so once you go to the AI Center, you need to go and click on create project, and then you can give any project name there. So maybe I will give test project project 1, because with test project I have already created one. And then maybe if you want to give some description about your project, you can go ahead and give the description, and then you need to click on create. So what this does is it's going to create one project name for you. better is not to give any spaces, so you can give underscore. I have given underscore in between these two words, and then I have clicked on create. So I've created a project over here in the AI center. Okay, and then next what we need to do is we need to go to the data set and we need to click on create new, and then we have to create one empty data set. We don't have to put any data over here, so I'll tell you that when we need to feed the data, but as of now let's create an empty data set. So we just need to give one name over here. So maybe I'll give the name as I want to do the data extraction for the invoices, so I'll give invoice dataset. It's just a name that I have given. You can give any name. Make sure that you're not giving any spaces or something in between. So you can give underscore. Again, you can give the description for the dataset and then you can click on create. But description is not mandatory. Next is you need to go to the data labeling. And then you need to go to the UiPath document understanding. And then you have to create one data labeling session as well. So maybe I'll again give invoice and then I'll give data labeling as a name. It's just a name that I'm giving. And I've already created one data set. So it is asking me to select the data set. So I can select it like this, invoice data set, the one that I've created just now. It also gives an option to create your new data set in case if you want to, like just in case if you have not created a data set, then you can always come over here to create a data set. So there's two options, like even in the data labeling also, you can create a data set. Okay, let's create an invoice data labeling. Done it. So if you'll see over here that it's there in the deploying status as of now. So it needs to be in the available. So we'll wait. Just take a couple of seconds and then it will be available for you. Right, so let's click on the data labeling, the one that we have created. And we are going to get this particular page. So it will go to the data manager and it is going to open one new page for you. So before we proceed further, let's see that what we want to extract. So I have one sample data set that I have downloaded from the internet. Let's see one of the sample. So if you see over here that I have one invoice sample and I want to extract some fields from here. Maybe I want to extract date. I want to extract the shipment mode and I would like to extract the address. So these are the three fields that I want to extract. And then there is something that I want to extract from the table as well. So maybe I'd like to extract the item, whatever is the item detail, like this one. And then I want to extract the quantity. I want to extract the rate per quantity, and then what is the total amount. So this is the tabular data that I want to extract there from this invoice. So that's my use case. So let's try to build this and see that how we can really extract the data. Let's come back to the document manager. So if you see over here that it is asking you to create a field first. So let's create a field. So we'll create a regular field first. So what is a regular field? Regular field is something which is not considered as the tabular information. So if anything apart from the tabular data is a regular field. So what is the tabular data over here? So if you see that these are the tabular data which is in the table, like barracks computer table, fully assembled, and then the quantity, rate, amount. So all these are the tabular data. So we'll not consider this as the regular field, but apart from this, anything else which is not recurring multiple times, because this information can be recurred multiple times, right? So this just one item, there could be second item, third item, and you can have multiple rows there in the table. But anything which is not recurring is considered as a regular field. So over here, which is a regular field? It is a date, which is a regular field. Shipment mode is a regular field, and maybe the address is also considered as a regular field, and so on. Like we can consider balance due also as the regular field, or the subtotal, or the total amount. Everything will be considered as a regular field because it is not occurring multiple times. Right, so let's try to create a regular field over here. So as we decided that we'll create or we'll try to extract only date, shipment mode, and the address. So we'll create 3 fields over here. So maybe I'll give the name as date. That's the one. And then what's the type? Let's consider, let's pick it up as a date over here because this is a date field. So I've created one regular field. Let's create one more, which is address. It will be of type string, and in case you will see over here that it is asking you to select the shortcut. So by default it is giving me as a, so I can make the changes over here like this wherever I want to select, but let's keep it as a only, and later you will know that how we can use the shortcut. But as of now, just remember that there is something as a shortcut which is showing up over here. And if just make a note that there's something known as hidden field, multi-value, and the multiple line. So if you have some values which could be in the multi-line, then you can just select this. In case if you can have a multiple values for that field, then you can select this. But as of now, we don't have any such example right now, so we're not selecting this, and we're just keeping it as a default. And let's click on save. We'll create one more regular field. So we wanted to extract the shipment mode. So I'll give over here as ship mode. And again, the shortcut it has given me as S. So I've created 3 regular fields. Now, as we decided that we will also be extracting the tabular data. So let's see that which column we want to extract. So if you'll see over here that there are 4 different columns, let's try to extract everything from this. So we'll create 4 different columns over here. So which is a column field. Let's create a column field. We'll click on that, and then the first is item. So I'll just give a name as item. Maybe I'll give item name. So that's the first field. I'll keep it as string type only. Shortcut will be small I. And next is quantity. Let's try to create a quantity. So all these shortcuts is really going to help us later to do the data labeling. Third is a rate, and the fourth is amount. So I have created a rate which is having the shortcut as R, and the next is amount. So guys, you can you don't need to always click on this create column field. You can always use this plus button to create a column field, or this plus button to create a regular field. So that's the other option that you have. Amount, well, take it as a string only, but you can always pick the other one which is a suitable one for you. Okay. All right. So I have created all the column fields and all the regular fields. I am not doing any kind of a classification over here, so I'll skip the classification field. So classification field is nothing, it's just like some extra field where you can do the classification. Maybe if you have kind of a document, some of them are invoices, some of them are statements or remittance, or some of them are of different kind of a document, and you want to do the data classification, then this is something that is being used. But as of now, we only want to do the data extraction, or some regular field we want to extract, and some tabular data we want to extract. So we have only initialized these 2 fields. Configure OCR is something that is pre-configured, so you don't have to do anything over here. And then it is telling you to import your document. So let's import a document. I'll give the batch name over here. So you can give any batch name. Maybe I'll give invoice batch 1. All right, so we'll click on the space, and then we'll try to select all the PDFs that we want to use as a training. So as you can see over here that all the PDF has been added over there in this particular space in the import data. We'll click on upload button, and then everything will get uploaded. After that, we're going to get import button once the upload is successful. All right, so we got the import button. I've just clicked on import, and now it should take some time to get imported. Usually it doesn't take more than 2 to 3 minutes to get imported, but it totally depends upon the number of document that you want to upload. Okay, so almost 95% has been imported, right? So everything is imported right now. If you see over here that all the 20 document is showing up there in this list, you can always move to the next document by clicking on this forward button, and then with this back button, you can go to your previous documents. Right, let's start with the labeling. So for the first document, we'll be doing the labeling manually. And for the next document, we will be doing the labeling using a generative predict option, which is there in the UiPath document understanding. So basically, generative predict is going to help us to label the data in a faster way using the generative capability of the UiPath. So let's start with the manual labeling first, just to know that how usually labeling works. So I've just selected the date, and then I've clicked on D, which is a shortcut key for the date. So if you'll remember that while we were creating a regular field, there was a shortcut key that was assigned for each and every fields. So it's the same shortcut key that we are using. So I've selected the date, and then I have clicked on D in my keyboard, and then automatically the data got labeled under the date field. Let's try with the next one, which is ship mode, and the shortcut key for the ship mode is S. Similarly for the ship to, it is A. Right. Now the next is item. For item, the shortcut key is I. Let's do it for the quantity. It is Q. For rate, it is R. And for amount, it is M. Alright, so all the data has been labeled manually and correctly. Let's move to the next document. So for the next document, we'll be using the generative predict to do the same thing. So this is a generative predict button. So what generative predict is going to do, it is going to do the data labeling for you using a generative AI capability of the UiPath. So what you have to do is you just have to review that whether the data has been labeled correctly or not. And in case if you do see any errors where the labeling has not happened correctly, you just have to correct it. But apart from that, all the other work, generative predict itself is going to do. So I've just clicked on the generative predict button. Okay, so I could see over here that it has almost predicted the data correctly. So date has been predicted correctly. Let us see the ship mode. Ship mode is also predicted correctly. Ship to, we could see over here that there is a slight changes that is required. So let me delete the labeling that the generative predict has done, and we'll try to label it by ourselves. We'll click on A. Okay, so now everything has been selected over here. Perfect. So for item, we could see that it has predicted correctly. Quantity is 3. Rate has also been predicted correctly, and amount is also predicted correctly. Okay. Let's move to the next document then. So we'll do one more document. Right now they're on a call, and we'll be using the generative predict again for this one as well. So I've clicked on the generative predict. Okay, so I can see over here that for this one as well, date and ship mode is predicted correctly, and item is also done correctly, quantity, rate, and amount. So I just have to make a slight change in the ship to. So I'll delete this, and I'll be doing okay, right? So for this one, we could see over here that for item, it has not picked the second line. Okay, so let's do one thing. Um, so what I've done is I've just selected the whole line, all the data, and then I have clicked on the forward slash button, and then what it has done is it has grouped the it has basically grouped all the items which is there in a single row. So it basically trains the model in such a way that sometimes you may get a data in the multiple lines there, but ideally it will be for the same piece of information, that is for the single source of data, right? But it is just like it is there in the two or three different lines. So in that situation, you just have to select everything there on that row and then click on the forward slash button. And then what it is going to do is it will just make the algorithm understand that everything which is there in the multiple lines are belonging to the same row. It should not go to the next row. Okay. So what I've done is I've done the same. Now I'll be deleting what Generative Predict has done, and then I'll be selecting the item again by myself, and I'll click on I. So if you see over here, okay, let me just try it once again. Yep, I'll click on I. You will see over here that it has been added successfully. Both the lines has been added, right? So we have to do it in a similar way, and that's how basically the leveling works. So here the major point is that you have to remember, or you have to basically make sure that you are using the shortcut key for the quick leveling in case if you're doing it manually. And the second is that in case if you have the multiple rows that is there that is belonging to the same piece of information, or it needs to be in the single line in your output, then you have to first group all those rows, and then you have to proceed further. So for grouping, you have to select everything, and then you have to click on the forward slash, and then ideally it will be grouped in a single row, and after that you can do the data leveling. All right, the way that I have done. Let's quickly move forward to the next document. So what I'm going to do is I'll be quickly leveling the data from my side for all the documents, and will then move to the ML packages. Right, okay, so we have completed the data leveling for all the 20 documents. You will see over here that the last document has also been labeled correctly. So now what next we want to do is we want to export this data because we have done the data leveling. Now we want to export the same data set into the data set that we have created. So we have to basically export these labeled data into our empty data set that we have created there in our AI center. So maybe just for your clarity, what we'll do is we'll just quickly go back and we'll first check our data set, the one that we have created. Right, so if you see over here that there's no data in this data set, and now I'm just going to the data leveling where we have completed the labeling for all the documents, and then I'll click on the export button. I'm just going to select that I want to export all the fields. You can give the export name. Maybe I'll give the export name as invoice export, and then you need to select export to AI center. So now it is exporting to the AI center. So what it is going to do is basically it is going to export all these data into the data set, the one that we created initially, which was empty. Now you will be able to see that all the data set will basically get exported over there, and there will be some data. So once the export gets completed, so it was idly blinking over here, so now it has stopped. That means that the export is completed. So let's go to the AI center. Let's go to the test project, and we'll go to the data set. We'll see that whether the data set has been created or not. And if you'll see over here that under the export folder, this folder was previously not available. So this is a new folder that has been created just now. And then this is the name, which is invoice_export, the one that we have given. And then we could see over here that the different files are now available over here. So the schema.json, split.csv, images, and latest are some of the dependencies that automatically gets created under the document understanding. Now next is that we need to create a ML package there in the AI center. So for that, you need to go to the out-of-box packages. You need to go to UiPath document understanding. And then you need to select UiPath document understanding over here once again. And then you need to, no need to select anything even there for the package version. Select the very latest one. And then it is showing up over here as retrainable. That means that it can be retrained. This is just a custom ML package. That is it. We need to select, we need to basically give the name over here of the ML package. So it is invoice ML package. That's a name that I'm just giving over here. You can give any of the name. And then we'll click on submit. So there's no other configuration that needs to be done for the ML package. You just need to call the custom ML package from the out of the box packages. And then you have to click on submit. So it just gets saved over here. So if you'll see that the new ML package has been created and it is under the undeployed status. So it will basically, once we create the pipeline and then once we fully create the ML skill, after that you'll be able to see that the status will get changed from undeployed to the different status. So that will get to know once we are doing our further processes. So till now we are good. Now the next is that we need to go ahead and create a pipeline. So what basically pipeline does? So whatever data labeling that we have done right now, and we have imported or we have created our custom ML package. So we have to do a pipeline run in the backend. So by which whatever the data that we have trained, data labeling that we have done, it will basically that data labeling or data set labeled data and the ML package will get trained with those data labeling results. Okay, so we are creating a pipeline over here and we are selecting a train run. So right now we want to train our data. So we want to train our custom ML package with the data labeling results that was there. Okay, so I'll give the name as invoice pipeline. So I'm just selecting the ML package that I've created in this stage. So I've given the name as invoice ML package while I was importing this ML package there. And then choose the package major version. You can just choose the same version, the one that you have used. Ideally, it will show only one version over here, the one that you selected while you was choosing the ML package. And then choose the package minor version, which is 0, because this is the training run that we are doing the first time. That's the reason it is showing us 0. So you have to always select it as 0 in case if it is the first time. In case if it is the second time training that you're doing while you are adding some more data there in your data set, then probably you have to select the very latest one. So after 0, if the second time you are doing the training with some additional data, then it will show as 1 over here, that you have to select 1 and so on. Choose the input data set. This is very important, guys. So you have to go, so it is basically route you to the data set, the one that you created. So you don't have to select the master folder over here, which is invoice data set. You have to go inside, you have to go to the export as well. So go inside the export, and this is the folder that you have to select. Okay, so basically you have to select the subfolder where those 4 dependencies which was images, latest, split.csv, and the other dependencies that were showing up, that is there. So you have to select the invoice export basically over here. So there are many people who basically make the mistake that they select the master folder, but you don't have to do it. You have to select the subfolder where all the dependencies are directly added. So I've selected it, and then you don't need to do anything over here. If you want to enable the GPU, you can do it. So what GPU is going to do is it will do the training pretty faster in comparison to the CPU. CPU will be little bit slower and the GPU will be faster. And AI units, basically it is going to consume is 20. In case if you want to use it for the CPU, it is going to be 6 AI units. But I am just selecting it as GPU because I want to go faster. And then I want to run now. You can also schedule it, or you can schedule it for any specific time, or you can schedule it in a recurring way as well. I'll just click on create. Now it is in the running status. So it will take some time to run basically. So once it gets completed, we'll go to the next step. So you can see over here that the training is showing as successful. So now next, what we're going to do is we'll be creating an ML skill. So guys, what exactly is the ML skill? So now we have done some configuration there in the AI center, right? So we have created a data set, and then we did a data labeling, and then after that we exported that results into the data set once again. We created an ML package. We have done the pipeline run basically, which is a training run, which is a training run for the ML package. Basically, so now everything needs to be packed into one set, and it needs to be exported into the studio so that we can make a use of all of these configurations in our UiPath Studio, and we can automate our process, right? So everything is done right now. We just need to create an ML skill, and this ML skill will be accessible directly into your studio so that you can do the data extraction basically. So let's create a ML skill. We'll give the name as invoice ML skill. I'll be selecting the ML package once again, which is the invoice ML package that we created under the ML packages section. We'll be selecting the major version, which is 23.10.4, while we were, selecting this ML packages. It's close to same procedure. Choose package minor version, which I will be selecting as 1 right now. And this is like a skill description in case if you want to give any description for the skill. And this is enable auto update. So tomorrow, in case if you are doing the second pipeline run, then automatically the new version will be created into the ML skill. You don't have to create a new ML skill. Maybe next time once you're doing a pipeline run once again. So in that situation, if you enable this, then what will happen is automatically this particular ML skill version will get auto upgraded. Okay. So I'll just keep it as disabled over here, and make ML skill public. What does that mean is that it's more like you are making this particular ML skill public or accessible for everyone. So I don't want to do it basically. In case if you want to do it, then you can just keep it as enabled. And this is like undeploy the skill after the period of inactivity. So we just need to leave it as default, which is 1 week. You can make a changes over, like in case you want to get it disabled in 1 day, you can do it, or in case you want to do it for 1 month. So why this option is given is because basically the license cost, or basically the cost will you will be charged for every hour there in case if you are creating an ML skill. Okay, so if you're leaving the ML skill active for 1 hour, then 1 AI unit will be consumed. Similarly, in case if you're leaving your ML skill active for 24 hours, 24 AI units will be consumed. And there are some complex licensing rules which are there. Okay, but it is basically built in a hourly basis. So that's the reason it's very crucial that you usually select this option and see that which can really, bring your cost to the minimum, and you can make a best use of it with a minimum cost. All right, so there is another option which is advanced infra settings. So if you enable it, you'll see that there are multiple options over here. So you have an option to click on enable GPU. So if you do enable GPU, then what will happen is it will make your ML skill very fast. So the response time will be very high, but even the cost will go too high. So ideally it's better that you can keep it as disabled only, so that you are not really spending too much of your amount basically in any specific solution. Just in case if the requirement is very crucial and you need to give the response very quickly, then only you just keep it as enabled. Response will be very high, but accordingly the AI units will get consumed. Replica count is also the same thing. Like in case if you want to increase the replica count, you can do it, but it will increase the cost as well. And it totally depends upon the speed. Like if you're making the replica count as 2 or 3, accordingly your response time will also increase, and so is the resource per replica. So in case if you want to keep it as 1 CPU, 2 CPU, 4 CPU, 6 CPU, accordingly your response will be higher. Response time will basically reduce, and the speed will be high. Okay, so I'm just keeping everything as default. I'll just disable this advanced intro settings, and I'll click on create. Right, so right now it is in deploying status. Probably it will take some time, and then it will also show as available or successful. Let's see. So guys, once the status shows as available or successful, then it will be available there in the UiPath Studio for for our further use. So we'll quickly jump into the UiPath Studio, and we'll see that whether this particular ML skill is showing as available over there or not. So first we just need to wait for some time till this deploying status goes back, and then we do see some success message over here. Okay, so after that we'll quickly move to the UiPath Studio. All right, so once we are done with the UiPath AI Center configuration, so once our ML skill gets created successfully and it is showing as a status as available or successful, then we are good to start our studio project. So we'll be creating a new process in the studio, and before we start with the process, first we need to install all the dependencies that is required for any machine learning extractor project. Okay, so we'll go to the manage package section, and we'll go to the project dependencies just to see that what are the different dependencies that is required. So I've already installed these two dependencies, so I'll be just showing that to you. So one is UiPath document understanding ML activities. That needs to be installed there in your computer, and the second is UiPath intelligent OCR dot activities that needs to be installed. So how to install these two dependencies? So you need to go to the official, and you need to write these two dependencies name, and then you need to click on install, you need to click on save, and then these two dependencies will get automatically installed there in your system. So once the dependencies has been installed, next what we need to do is we need to go to the taxonomy manager, and we need to define that what are the different fields that we want to extract using the ML extractor. Okay, so we will be creating one group that is required under the taxonomy. So I'll just name it as test group, because we are just doing this for the demo purpose. So I'll be giving the group name as test group. And the second is test, basically the category that it is asking you to create. So I'll be giving the name as test category. And then it is asking me to select the basically define the document type. So this is our invoices. So I'll be giving invoice. And then it is asking me to create a field or to define a field, that what are the field that you want to extract there from the ML extractor or from the ML skill that we have created in the AI center. So we wanted to extract one table, and in that table there was 4 columns, right? And we wanted to extract 3 regular field. So let's define that. So first field is date that we want to extract, and it is of date type. The second field that we want to extract is ship to. So again, that is of the type string. So I'll be selecting text over here. And the third that we wanted to extract was ship mode. Again, that will be of string type. So these are the 3 regular field that we wanted to extract, and that I have defined it as a field. The fourth is the table that we wanted to extract. So I'll just name it as table over here, and I'll give the field type as table, and I'll click on save. So what happens is that it will create the fourth one as a table, And in the table, we have to define the different column that we want to extract using the ML extractor. So the first column was item. So I'll be giving it as an item name. And the second that we wanted to extract was quantity. So I'll be selecting text over here for the quantity as well. The third that we wanted to extract was the rate. That what is the rate per quantity? Even that we have selected as the text. The fourth was the amount. And even here, I'll be selecting it as text. Right. So we have defined our taxonomy, that we have created a group, we have created a category, and then we have created a document type, then different fields. So there are 4 different fields that we have created. One is state, another one is ship to, and then ship mode, and then a table, because we wanted to extract a table as well. And under table, we have created 4 different columns because we wanted to extract 4 different columns there from the ML skill. So we have given all these information there to the taxonomy manager, which we want to deal with in the specific project. All right, so taxonomy manager is done. Next, what we need to do is whatever we have defined in the taxonomy manager, we have to load that using the load taxonomy. Okay, so I have created, I have dragged and dropped the load taxonomy activity, and I have created an output variable. Like in this taxonomy variable, the output of the taxonomy will get saved. Next is we have to do a digitize document. So what it is going to do is it will basically digitize the document, and it will convert it into the machine to understand that what data that we want to extract. So I am passing the input path over here. So I have placed my PDF file in this path, which is str data path. So this is a variable that I have created, and I have placed my PDF path over here, and I'm just passing the PDF path. So you can also select this browse button, and you can select your file directly wherever it is getting saved. Document text. So I'll be creating one variable as doc text, because this is the output. So the output will get saved in the doc text. So there are 2 output that comes out of the digitized document. One is doc text, and the other one is a document object model. So for the document object model, I'll just define it as a DOM. So that's it. So it gives 2 output. One is doc text, and the other one is a document object model. And then we have a document understanding, like you have a document OCR. So that comes by default. You do have an option to change the OCR. You can use the Tesseract OCR or a Google OCR, or whichever OCR suits best to you. But it's always suggested to go ahead with the UiPath document OCR only. So that comes by default. So I'm just using the same over here. So once we are done with the digitized document, the next is we'll be calling a data extraction scope. So under the data extraction scope, we'll just be filling all the information that it is asking. So asking me for the document path. So it is the input document path that I have saved in this variable, which is str data path. And it is asking me to fill the taxonomy. So it is the output of the load taxonomy, which we have defined here, and we have saved the output under the taxonomy. So I just need to select the same output over here, which is taxonomy. And this is it is asking for these 2 fields, which is document text and document object model, as an input for the data extraction, which is the output of the digitized document. Okay, so I'll be selecting doc text as a variable, and over here I'll be selecting DOM as the variable, because these are the 2 variables that I got as an output for the digitized document, which is document text and document object model. So it's asking the same one, document text, and then the document object model, which is here. All right. So now it is asking me to give the classification result or the document type ID. So you have to select any one of them, so that you don't get any error. So either you have to select you have to provide the classification result, or you have to provide the document type ID. So from where we can get the document type ID? So once we create a taxonomy manager, there is automatically one folder that will get created, and there is a taxonomy JSON that will get created, and you can just copy your document type ID there from the taxonomy JSON. So if you remember that we have given the group name, we have created a category, and then we have created a document type, right? So by the combination of all these three, the document type ID, is built or is defined. So I'll be just providing the document type ID over here in this project, and then we have to give the output, or we have to save the output in one variable. So I'll give over here as the extraction result output. That's a variable name that I have defined. All right, so that's it. So this is something that we need to do, and then the last step is that we have to call the ML extractor. Well, so I'll be selecting, I'm just giving the keyword as extractor, and then let's see that if we are getting machine learning extractor over here. So I'm getting it. So we just need to drag and drop the machine learning extractor. And if you'll see over here that it is by default giving me the API key by itself, and then I am getting the invoice ML skill under the drop down of the ML skill. Okay, so if you see that this is the same ML skill that we have created in the AI center, and it is accessible there in our studio. So you just need to make sure that you are connected to the same studio in the same tenant as you're connected to the orchestrator. So in case if you're connected to the orchestrator and you have a tenant X which is there, so you need to connect your studio with the same tenant, and then only you'll be able to see your ML skill. In case if your orchestrator is not having any tenant, then there is no issues. Your studio will directly be connected to the default tenant, and you'll be able to see your ML skill option over here. So invoice ML skill. So I've selected it. I'll just click on the get capabilities. So what it does is it's just going to get me all the field there from the ML skill. Okay. So I got this, and then I'll be clicking on the configure extractor just to see that what are the data that I want to extract from the machine learning extractor. Basically, in this scenario, I want to extract everything there from the machine learning extractor. So what I'll do is I have defined all these fields there in the taxonomy manager, and these are the fields which are coming from the ML skill. So we have to just map it, because actually the training has been done there in the AI center. So basically we just need to map that what exactly we want to get from the ML skill, what data we want to get from there. So we just need to do the mapping over here. So date, and then ship to that we have provided there in the AI center. Ship mode, they have given ship mode, and then another table you have to select items. So you have to make sure that you are selecting items, because in the items only we are getting a column field from the ML skill. And then you have to select item name. So we have just given item name there in the ML skill, quantity, item quantity, and then rate, and then amount. Right? So we have mapped everything. Now what we need to do is we just need to click on save. So once we click on save, then what next that needs to be done? So we are almost done. We have configured the ML extractor as well. Now we just need to display this record and see that whether we are getting the extraction correctly or not. So for displaying the record, we'll be using the validation station. So we'll be using present validation station. So this act as a kind of a message box, you can say, where you can validate your record. We can see that if the data extraction has happened correctly or not. Okay, so it is also going to take some inputs. So it will ask you for the document path, so which I'll give as str data path, where my document full path is saved. And then it is asking me for the document text, which is the output of the digitized document step that we have done. So I've saved it in doc text. It is asking me for the document object model, which is TOM. It is asking me for the taxonomy. So that's output of the node taxonomy. So just give it over here. It is asking me for the automatic extraction result, which is the extraction result of the data extraction scope. So which is this one. All right. So let's run this process and see that how how it is extracting the data. So it may take a couple of minutes to get executed end to end. Right, so we could see over here that it has done the data extraction, and we'll just try to validate that how the data extraction has happened. So if you'll see over here that the data has been extracted correctly, same as ship 2 has been extracted correctly, ship mode is also extracted correctly, and then let's check the table. We could see over here that the table has also been extracted correctly. Right, so all the value looks correct. So that's how easy it is. So you just need to do some configuration there in the AI center, and then there are some predefined steps that you need to follow in the document understanding, and then you can really build your project using the UiPath machine learning extractor basically. So just wanted to quickly show you that in case if you want to use any other extractor, it's very easy for you to make that change as well. So maybe take a scenario in which some of the data is getting extracted with the ML extractor. For some of the data, you want to extract it with the generative extractor. Then what all that you need to do is you just need to go to the activity and you need to call the another extractor that you want to use. Maybe if I want to use generative extractor for extracting any different information from the same document, then what I'll do is I will go over here and I'll just drag and drop the generative extractor, and then I'll basically pass the prompt over here. So if it is very new for you, like if you don't know that what exactly needs to be done in the generative extractor, I have also done the end-to-end demo of the generative extractor in my previous video, and I'll be sharing the link of the generative extractor and the classifier information there in the description below. So you can always go back to the description, and you can click on the link, and you can see that how you can build the process or how you can do the data extraction using the generative extractor. Now once you know that how the generative extractor and how the machine learning extractor works, it's very easy for you to do the data extraction, because now you can go ahead and combine these two capabilities into the one code only, and you can do your data extraction in a very efficient way with a very less flaws. Okay, so with this, I'll end this video and I'll end this demo. Please share your thoughts in comments in case if you have any doubts, and I'll be happy to clarify those. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And have a great day. Bye bye.